Do 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 do. Boom! Sergeant America coming at you. Oh boy, almost halfway through, and then a call came and stopped it. And I don't edit, and things just get all stupid with me trying to splice and 2 videos. Who cares? Year in review. Keep in mind that I tend to be a meathead. I like my meathead stuff. This is my opinion on what's the best in comics for this year. I'm trying to keep it as good as it can be. Starting off with writers, Jolene Jones, writer and artist. I find that art is probably what sells me on most comics. So this had to be the top one. This is the top pick for me. Lady Killers, I hope definitely everybody is picking this up. 50s housewife who is a assassin, a pay for hire killer. And it's definitely just enjoyable to see the idea. I think it's fresh. I like the take on it. And her artwork is just strong. What you see on the cover is what you get inside. And Michelle Madsen's coloring on this also is just excellent in addition to that. Wildstorm. Warren Ellis. While I do say Warren Ellis, story-wise, I do like this. When I read it, though, John Davis Hunt, the artist. Once again, what you see on the cover is what you get inside. Same on the back. John Davis Hunt also probably tells the story equal or more so than Warren Ellis. Ellis does a great job of raising a lot of questions, kind of that Lost feel where you're always wondering what's going on, so that intrigues me, keeps me interested, makes me wonder what's going to happen. But it's the art that keeps me locked in, and hopefully he keeps telling enough in 24 issues to make it a full, enjoyable story. I don't know. There may be a lot of stuff left out there. Black Bolt. This one is definitely, I think, the writer, Saladin Ahmed, who's done a great job, but the artist, Fraser Irving, the art definitely has hooked me in this. Once again, like I said, art to me tells the story just as much as any writer. This is kind of a looser style fringe book for Marvel. So the artwork, as you see on the covers, what you get inside, is definitely what's fun. Though the writer definitely made me enjoy the king has been sent to prison. His brother Maximus has done a trick on him and replaced him in his spot. So it was very interesting to see how Black Bolt with some power fights his way out. Crusher Creel, the Absorbing Man, was just excellently written in here. I know him as a way more dick than what's presented in the book, so it was interesting to see this writer's take on him, so definitely enjoyed that one. Mother Panic. As we're going down the line, each one, maybe I was a little less excited about. I definitely noticed the artist changes on this regularly, so it must, this one's got to be then Jody Houser's writing. I like the idea that, it's a new take on Gotham. It doesn't have to quite be, that full Batman style. So this is something new. This is my Batman. This is the new start for me, the new series. Of course, this is Young Animals. I definitely hope this is making enough of a dent that people are enjoying it and it continues. So I definitely recommend that. Mr. Miracle, once again. Tom King with the storyline, it is a little difficult to explain. The idea, did Mr. Miracle kill himself? Is he trying to escape death? Is there something going on with Darkseid? So it's been very interesting. But of course, Mitch Gerards, his artwork definitely, like I said, tells the story too. The two of them, knowing what I knew off of Sheriff of Babylon, definitely made me have to buy this. I just definitely read this, enjoyed it. Like I said, so much of it is art, So, speaking again then, Infamous Iron Man. A lot of people are down on Bendis. I guess I'm not as critical on Bendis as other people are. So, I like the meathead style that he does. A little funny, a little good. Dr. Doom as a villain. I mean, that was what intrigued me. And of course, the Maleev art definitely was, like I said, 50 or more % of the storytelling in it. So Maleev art pretty much jump on anything he does. But as we get into the legacy, so Bendis, Cassiavelli, and Maleev doing the Invincible Iron Man. Cassiavelli I also enjoyed because he did a lot of the Marvel Initiative, where it was like 50 State Initiative, back in Civil War, just after Civil War, Secret War. Anyway, when the Skrulls invaded, there was a whole bunch of kids being taught powers. It was the idea of everybody need to be registered. The Initiative. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed his artwork. So I enjoyed it in here too. And so once again, I guess Cassielli was doing Riri Williams. So half of the book is Riri Williams done by him. The other half is Maleev doing Doom. Normally, I think I would have been upset by that, but I just liked both artists, so I was sold on that one. So often I'm late to the party. Of course, once again, late to the party, and you're just like, well, Vision wasn't this year. It was re-released in these director's cuts. I was able to pick up, 2 every time, so it was definitely great. I enjoyed the director's cuts, reading some of the information, seeing some of the scripts. I definitely like that idea. Tom King as a writer. Tom King as a writer. Gabriel Hernandez Walta as the artist, as you see there. Art wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I mean, I think that's what stopped me originally from picking it up. Because, like I said, I love Tom King. But, I mean, the robots are kind of meant to have that John Romita Jr. squareness to them. So... I guess. Then when we get to artist, I believe. I'm kind of flipping through these. So one of the best artists this year was through Avengers, Mike Del Mundo. I picked up this book solely because of the Mike Del Mundo art. Beautiful painted style that we saw with Weird World and some of that. It was just phenomenal. I mean, the first part of this was Kang the Conqueror and time travel. Oh, I hate time travel stories. Del Mundo, only reason I was picking this up. This also then became on my list, most disappointed as they changed artist, and I didn't care to jump on this anymore. Once again, pretty much with all Marvel, I've been disappointed. Their cover stock, as you're reading and you're flipping through, the cover slowly starts to melt and peel in your hands, and you leave fingerprints on your books. I do not like that. Notes! I need notes. All right. We're going noteless on this one now. All right. Great ongoing that I'm really enjoying. Red Hood and the Outlaws. The idea, I read, I don't know, what is it? I think it was almost 10 issues, and I was reading this solely for the Bizarro storyline that I knew was coming eventually. I mean, it was Red Hood, and then it was Artemis, and then finally it's Superman Bizarro. As you can see, so many bad things happen to Bizarro. It's just been great. Definitely Lobdell has really been hitting it on the writing on this. Dexter Soy's art was just also phenomenal. So, yeah, I was just so hooked by this, and always fighting with John Runyon over what covers we should get with these. So try not to create so much wind, since that seems to be what screws me up. So then, yes, then Black Bolt decided it was another one of those where as an ongoing. I'm kind of staying on it. So I mean, I picked it up with Ward when it was not the same artist. See if I can find my Black Bolt pile there. As you can see, I've been bagging incorrectly for a while. Then we get to this one. Black Magic. Greg Rucka, Nicola Scott. Definitely, I think, once again, it's the art. The art, that's what sold me on this one. But I just love the story, so it's got to be, I guess, Rucka. But I'm not reading into the back material, so is it Rucka? That's where I've had difficulty this year figuring out, who is the best writer this year. I'm picking it up. So let's say he's a great writer, great artist also. But when it comes to just pure art, Sejic, Sejic, I also regularly get your name wrong. But the artwork is just phenomenal. Inside, I would just have to say, if you've ever read any of Sunstone, is all of his work. He's a writer and artist. He's did a couple covers or a couple issues of Suicide Squad. But this Aquaman run, I believe it's 25 to 30, 5 issues. I have none of the before. I'm not picking up any after. Sejic art. If I see his art on anything, Rat Queens, I picked up some Rat Queens of his too. That's what makes a decision. Nick Fury. That's a beautiful cover there. Generally ACO. So it's ACO art. If you read Midnighter from DC, he was doing every other issue. Bam. I mean, this is 6 issues, and he's done all 6 issues. There's been a little bit of work with his inker has done some artwork, like 3 to 4 pages. If that's what it takes to keep him on, I'm definitely enjoying it. I don't know how long this series is going to run, but Robinson does a fine job writing. It's basically one-shots. If you think about the old 80s, maybe 90s James Bond, over-the-top devices, gadgets, wackadoodle plots, that's what you get in this. So I guess if you like what would that be, like Roger Moore, James Bond, a little too much. Pierce Brosnan, maybe, too much. Nick Fury, I mean, that's what we get. He's a spy on the go. They all do have a light tie into each other, like an overarching villain in that. But it's really the art. The art, the layouts is just phenomenal. ACO, I'm so happy you were able to continue with that. Looks like we're getting to one-shots now. Obviously, I am totally messed up on my notes, so who cares? Batman and Elmer Fudd, one-shot. This is just beautiful. I would have really liked to have seen the whole Rebirth just be this. I like to see Dr. Manhattan put his finger down and boom, Batman in the DC Warner Brothers universe. I love this. The artwork that we saw with Weeks in here was just phenomenal. It was just one of those things I thought was totally stunning. Definitely hope everybody purchased that one. Marvel-wise, Power Pack. As much as I've been mad at Marvel, this was something back in '84, maybe, that it was one of the first comics that I read in the library. I was lucky that my library had single issues of comics, so Power Pack was in the kids section, and this has been good. This one kind of scaled up. This is one of one shot, and of course at the end, write us a letter. We can't make any decisions ourselves. And Marvel, I mean, pain in the butt, really. Also, digital-wise, I picked up the KFC Colonel's Chicken and Green Lantern and the Flash. They were just good. If you have a DC, or if you have a digital format, I recommend getting these free from the DC site. Let you look at beautiful artwork while I take a sip. I don't usually talk this long. Hey-o! So, like I said, great one-shots. There's 3 of them out there. I've enjoyed them. Miniseries. Number 1 in my book, of course, was Shirtless Bear Fighter. As you can see, that wonderful punching right there. What you see is what you get inside there. A man has to fight bears. What more do I need to say to sell you on it? It was good. It was good because of how short it was. The social media, Twitter, that the writers, artists, whoever was in charge of, did with this is hilarious and is still funny. I really hope to see some crossovers with other books or another series, maybe another 4-parter may be enough. 6 is good, though. Shaolin Monk, or Shaolin Cowboy. This one, as you can see, art on the cover is what you get inside. Darrow's artwork and writing in this. Very little said. It's all said in the drawing, as you can see, over the top on crazy violence and that kind of stuff. This is definitely just so far out there. I don't read a whole lot of Dark Horse comics. This is just a unique idea format. Play around with everything. So, and it's 4 issues, and it was powerful, packed in those 4 issues. Not a bad page in there. Boom. You see this, and this I just have to say, I'm still reading it. 32 issues. Manifest Destiny, Lewis and Clark and Sacagawea, traveling up the trail of Lewis and Clark, encountering monsters and crazy bugs and infighting amongst the people. To me, it was what started my pull list. I just want everybody to know I'm still reading it. I'm still enjoying it. There was, I think, like issue maybe 10 or so. Maybe it was like 7 to 10. I was starting to get worried. Their pacing seemed to be a little off. They figured it out. They've nailed it. They've got a good run going here. And I'm just enjoying it. Of course, now they are in South Dakota, or the Sioux Nation area. So if anybody in the 605 is looking for just kind of a weird book, this is a good one to pick up. All right, so I stopped bending over. When it came to format-wise, Supergirl being super was excellent. Squareback issues. Somehow I missed out on number 4. Now I notice as I'm flipping through these. I like this idea. So it is a I'll say I'm back on it. Yes. It's a $6 book with no ads. $6 I'm willing to pay for great Jolene Jones art. Makoto Tamaki's writing was pretty good on this. But it was the art. It was the art that totally sold me. $6. I'm willing to do that for no ads. Things I picked up this year that I was really... Alright, yeah. That I luckily got a great deal. So, of course, this is more late to the party stuff for all my late to the party people! Six Gun Gorilla. I can't believe I was late to this one. Hilarious. I think I saw it one time and the art threw me a little off on it. I'm a little more open to it now, and it just seems like a fun, silly kind of book. Post-apocalyptic. Deadpool, Mercs for Money. I was able to get this half off and just enjoyed it. Because, I mean, when you look at it, I mean, look at the gorilla, hit monkeys on there. You got Domino, Machine Man. You know, and I understand it's Deadpool. It's not for everybody, but I definitely think this issue, Mercs for Money, from 4 to 8 at least, I think so. It's 4 issues. I recommend picking these up. These are fun, great issues. I definitely would recommend this to anybody, even Deadpool haters. Talking to you, Travis. This is also a year about year things gone by. The Flintstones. This is just too excellent not to mention once again. I definitely hope people are picking up the trades that came out this year of it. Russell and Puzz art in this one was just amazing. What you see there is what you get. It's not a child's book. It tackled some adult themes on whether marriage, religion, economics. It was just something that I definitely would really hope that people keep in mind on. Seeing as that's the end of my books, some of the last things I do... Oh, did have a couple notes left. Best comic book movie. Lego Batman. Why Lego Batman? At least for me, I got to see it in Baltimore in the special theater. It was a almost private show. I think a mother and her kid came in right at the end. I also had a beer in my hand while I'm watching it. I love that when theaters can sell you beer and food and you get to just relax in there, crash back in the seat, almost nobody there, watch a comic book movie. Oh, the best. The bestest. So definitely best new shop that I visited this year because it's a new shop. Gorilla King Comics in Baltimore. Once again, I got a trip to Baltimore. Gorilla King Comics was great. A bunch of dollar issues. I went there 3 days of my trip digging through because my wife was at a conference and I was killing some time. It was a great place to kill time. A lot of good food and all that kind of stuff. Well, doggedy, I just see I'm hitting the 20 mark. Best events. By best events, of course, who cares about comic events? It's truly about the life comic events. The filming that we did, a comic book look at our local shop. Once again, thank you, Rainbow Comics and Collectibles. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Minnesota, and 42nd Street, if I'm correct. It is the best shop that I've ever hit. Like I said, it's comics, cards, collectibles. If you're looking for toys, figures, statues, comics, back issues, dollar comics, football cards. They gave me a football card with my name on it because it was a relative of mine. It's just been an amazing shop to me, and I'm so thankful for them. Letting us film there was amazing. Keeping in mind with that, the Wednesday Comics podcast, that's Wednesday Comics podcast. Those guys have been doing great. I post regularly about them. Whether if it's the times where I just get to listen to them, whether if it's when I'm invited on with Comic Book Look to chat with them, whether if it's the times where I'm on right at the very end, and I hope you stay to the very end, because every once in a while I call in and give my thoughts on the shows, and I've always enjoyed those guys. The Visit from the bagging and boarding bad boy himself, Mark. Hope you stayed to the end of this video, Mark. I know it's been 20-some minutes, but your visit was awesome. Having him here, traveling from Tennessee to Sioux Falls, South Dakota to do a con with us, do some filmings with us, a couple episodes of a comic book look. He chatted on my channel. It was just great to speak to him in general. Brother, I love you. Once again, the pictures that we took of the crew, I'll throw some back on Twitter again. This is just great this year. I love the shirts. Once again, thank you, John Runyon. The hat that you gave me. Chatting with Tom. It's just been great. Another dad. Hanging out with Ken a lot more this year. It's just been fun. Best wishes to you as always. As that group continues to grow, I've just been loving it, having a great time with that. And then lastly, when it comes to some of the best things I got this year, I got to see an old artist friend who came back to the college that I work at, and Dave, it was just amazing to see all that you've done. Dave Waltner, I'll try and also do some postings and shout outs to him. I love all the work that you've done in Kung Fu Pandas. I love your comic books. And lastly, the Genie, the comic book Genie, Mikey Martinez. You saw a little bit of this beautiful artwork that I had a commission done this year. I was definitely thankful. I'm just going to grab you right here. Maybe in the past you see me post about these beauties I also have on my wall, which I got at the con this year. Definitely, once again, loved it. Definitely, again, thank you. Definitely look forward to seeing you in the con again this year. Those are the kind of things I think that made my year. Some of the events I went to, hanging out with friends, talking comics. Thankful for Travis, Oddfellow Thoughts, the wonderful comic book roundtable you do. Hopefully we keep the net neutrality, that you keep your show, that you keep chatting with your friends. Thank you to everybody on Twitter, on YouTube that always comments. It's crazy whenever I can say that I have a friend in Canada. I have a friend on the East Coast, the West Coast, and the friends that I have in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, that I just get to chat comics with regularly, that I get to enjoy comics with, that I don't have to hear about all the worst things about. So once again, 2017, thanks everybody for just hanging in there, for enjoying themselves, reading comics, enjoying comics, making comics, everything. Catchphrase.